Picture a land where glacial fjords dramatically crash into lush subtropical forests, where ancient Maori traditions dance alongside cutting-edge innovation, and where untouched landscapes whisper stories older than time itself. Welcome to New Zealand, a country that's 80% pure, wild, and wonderfully empty. What makes this destination truly magical isn't just its famous Lord of the Rings backdrops, but the extraordinary hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Imagine exploring glowworm caves that sparkle like underground galaxies, walking pristine beaches where your footprints might be the only human trace for miles, and experiencing a landscape so diverse it feels like multiple worlds compressed into one breathtaking country. From the geothermal wonderland of Rotorua, where the earth bubbles and steams with primordial energy, to the snow-capped southern Alps that pierce the sky, New Zealand is nature's masterpiece. The Maori people have long understood this land's profound spirit, a concept they call mana katanga, which celebrates connection, respect, and hospitality. Curious travelers, get ready. We'll journey from the bustling streets of Auckland to the remote wilderness of Stewart Island, uncovering cultural richness and natural wonders at every turn. Pro tip: learn the traditional hangi greeting, a sacred, nose-to-nose connection that symbolizes the sharing of life force, and you'll instantly connect more deeply with local culture. So, are you ready to explore a country where emptiness isn't absence, but an invitation to adventure? Where 80% of the land remains untouched, promising experiences that will transform your understanding of wilderness? Buckle up. Aotearoa, New Zealand is calling. Kia ora. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime. So, are you ready to explore the heart of New Zealand? Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Tell us which New Zealand landscape has already stolen your heart, or which destination you're most excited to discover. Why is 80% of New Zealand empty? New Zealand's sparse population distribution is a fascinating result of both its geological history and modern conservation efforts. Despite being roughly the size of the United Kingdom, New Zealand houses just 5.1 million people, with 80% of its landmass remaining largely uninhabited. This unique phenomenon can be attributed to several factors. First, the country's dramatic topography, shaped by volcanic activity and tectonic movements, has created vast mountain ranges, dense forests, and rugged terrain that's simply uninhabitable. The Southern Alps, running through much of the South Island, create a natural barrier that limits settlement opportunities. Second, New Zealand's strong environmental consciousness has led to the protection of massive areas as national parks and conservation lands. Nearly one-third of the country is protected public land, preserving its unique biodiversity and native ecosystems. Additionally, the country's agricultural heritage has resulted in large tracts of land being dedicated to farming and forestry, particularly sheep farming, which requires extensive grazing areas. This has historically prevented urban development in many regions. Lastly, New Zealand's population has traditionally concentrated in urban areas, with about 86% of people living in cities and towns, primarily in the North Island. This urban clustering has left vast stretches of the country's most beautiful landscapes pristine and untouched. Here are some more fascinating and lesser-known curiosities about New Zealand. These curiosities showcase how New Zealand continues to surprise even seasoned travelers, offering glimpses into a land where the extraordinary becomes possible, and where nature and history combine to create truly unique wonders. New Zealand's captivating curiosities. Tunnel Beach's love story. Near Dunedin lies a beach with a romantic yet tragic tale. In the 1870s, a wealthy businessman hand-carved a tunnel through solid rock so his family could access a private beach. Local legend says he built it for his daughter, who later drowned there, though historians debate this. Today, visitors descend through the dimly lit tunnel to emerge at one of New Zealand's most dramatic coastlines, where cathedral-like rock arches frame the wild Pacific Ocean. The man-made tunnel, carved with hand tools over several years, stands as a testament to Victorian determination and perhaps a father's love. Lost world of the Denniston Plateau. Perched 600 meters above sea level on the west coast, sits an abandoned coal mining town where residents once lived their lives upside down. The community built their entire town on an almost vertical incline, with houses secured by cables and children playing on streets so steep they needed ropes to navigate them. The infamous Denniston Incline, an engineering marvel of its time, lowered coal wagons down an astounding 45-degree gradient. Today, the ghostly remains offer a fascinating glimpse into one of the world's most unusual mining communities. The pink and white lost terraces. Before their destruction in the 1886 Mount Taravaya eruption, the pink and white terraces were considered the eighth wonder of the natural world. These cascading silica terraces, formed over thousands of years, created what witnesses described as a series of perfect bathing pools descending to Lake Rotorua. Recent research suggests portions may still exist, buried beneath the lake. The search continues, making this one of New Zealand's most intriguing geological mysteries. Putangirua Pinnacles alien landscape. These eerie rock formations, known locally as hoodoos, create a landscape so otherworldly they were used as a backdrop for the Path of the Dead in The Lord of the Rings. Formed by ancient river erosion, these towering pillars reach up to 50 meters high, creating a maze-like valley that seems more suited to Mars than Earth. Local Maori legends speak of them as the bones of giants, and walking among them at dusk, it's easy to understand why. The Lost Moa's Nest. In the remote Honeycomb Hill Caves of Kahurangi National Park, scientists discovered something unprecedented, a perfectly preserved nest of the extinct giant moa, complete with egg fragments and feathers. This 2,000-year-old time capsule provides rare insights into these massive birds' behavior. The caves continue to yield new discoveries, with some passages still unexplored. Frying Pan Lake. The world's largest hot spring lurks in the Waimangu Volcanic Valley. This steaming lake, reaching temperatures of 55 degrees Celsius, 131 degrees Fahrenheit, was created by a devastating volcanic eruption in 1917. Its surface constantly bubbles and steams, creating an otherworldly landscape that demonstrates the raw power of New Zealand's geothermal heart. The Ship Cove Time Capsule. In a remote corner of the Marlborough Sounds lies Ship Cove, where Captain Cook anchored several times during his voyages. What makes this site unique is the remarkable preservation of evidence from these visits, including a tree with ship's nails, still embedded in it from where Cook's crew hung their wash to dry. It's one of the few places in the world where such tangible connections to 18th century exploration remain intact. The Living Lake. Lake Taupo, New Zealand's largest lake, sits in a volcanic caldera so active that scientists have detected the lake floor rising and falling by several centimeters daily, like a giant breathing. This breathing is caused by magma movements deep beneath the surface, making it one of the world's most monitored lakes. Maori legends speak of a giant's heartbeat beneath the waters, showing how long this phenomenon has been observed. Next up, New Zealand's must-see wonders. Milford Sound Piopiotahi. Imagine standing beneath towering cliffs that pierce the clouds. At the same time, waterfalls thunder down from heights that make you dizzy just looking up. This is the reality of Milford Sound, a place that left Rudyard Kipling speechless and earned the title Eighth Wonder of the World. Carved by ancient glaciers, these sheer rock faces rise 1,200 meters straight from the inky waters, creating a landscape that seems to belong in a fantasy realm. The 155-meter Bowen Falls cascades with raw power. Simultaneously, some of Earth's rarest ecosystems thrive in these waters. Here, black coral grows at unusually shallow depths, thanks to a unique dark freshwater layer that floats atop the seawater. As you cruise beneath the iconic Mitre Peak, you might spot playful dolphins, lounging seals, and waddling penguins, all at home in this ethereal landscape where misty rainforest clings to vertical cliffs. Rotorua geothermal wonders. Steam rises from cracks in the sidewalk as you walk through a landscape that feels more like another planet than Earth. Welcome to Rotorua, where the raw power of our planet's core breaks through to create an otherworldly spectacle. Here, mud pools bubble like witches' cauldrons. Geysers shoot scalding water into the sky, and mineral pools paint the ground in colors that seem impossible in nature. The crown jewel, Pohutu Geyser, performs its spectacle with theatrical regularity. Simultaneously, the famous Champagne Pool shimmers with vibrant orange edges that seem almost too perfect to be natural. For centuries, the Maori people have harnessed these geothermal features for cooking, heating, and healing, adding layers of cultural significance to this natural wonder. Even the distinctive sulfur smell, playfully nicknamed Rotorua's perfume, serves as a reminder that you're walking on one of Earth's most active geothermal fields. Tongariro Alpine Crossing. Step into a landscape so dramatic, it was chosen to represent Mordor in The Lord of the Rings, where every footstep takes you through 19.4 kilometers of volcanic wonder. As you traverse this ancient terrain, you'll find yourself surrounded by evidence of Earth's fiery past, dormant craters, old lava flows, and steam vents that remind you of the sleeping giants beneath your feet. The legendary emerald lakes appear like gems scattered across the volcanic landscape, their impossible turquoise hue, created by centuries of dissolved minerals. Walking between the mighty Mount Tongariro and Mount Nguruo, famous as Mount Doom, you'll understand why this land holds such deep spiritual significance for local Maori iwi. On clear days, the perfect cone of Mount Taranaki watches from the distance, completing a trek that's not just a walk, but a journey through time and legend. Waitomo Glowworm Caves. Drifting silently through darkness, you'll witness what seems like a living galaxy beneath the earth. Thousands of tiny blue lights create constellations on the cave ceiling, but these stars are actually Arachnocompa luminosa, a species of glowworm found nowhere else on Earth. The ancient limestone caves, sculptured over 30 million years, create a cathedral-like space where stalactites and stalagmites frame this bioluminescent display. As your boat glides through the darkness, you'll learn nature's clever secret. These mesmerizing lights are actually part of an ingenious hunting strategy, with each glowworm using its living light to attract flying insects into sticky hanging threads. It's a magical predatory dance that creates one of nature's most enchanting light shows. Abel Tasman National Park. Where pristine forest meets golden sand and turquoise water, you'll find New Zealand's smallest, but perhaps most perfect national park. Every bend in the Abel Tasman coast track reveals another postcard-worthy vista, as native forest extends its fingers right to the tide line. Playful fur seals lounge on sun-warmed rocks, while dolphins regularly join kayakers on their coastal explorations. The park holds countless treasures, from the enigmatic Split Apple Rock, a geological masterpiece that seems to have been cleaved by a giant's knife, to the inviting Cleopatra's Pool, where nature has created its own perfect water slide. Whether you choose to hike, kayak, or combine both, the park offers a choose-your-own-adventure style of exploration in paradise. Fiordland National Park, where wilderness still rules supreme, a vast realm of 14 fjords cuts deep into the heart of New Zealand's largest national park. Here, in this UNESCO World Heritage Site, nature operates on a scale that defies imagination. Ancient rainforests cling to sheer cliff faces, simultaneously waterfalls, fed by up to 8 meters of annual rainfall, cascade from dizzying heights. Hidden within this prehistoric landscape, the rare flightless takahe, once thought extinct, has found its last sanctuary, sharing the wilderness with the world's only flightless parrot, the critically endangered kakapo. Beyond the more famous Milford Sound lies Doubtful Sound, a deeper, darker, more mysterious fjord where silence speaks volumes and isolation creates an atmosphere of primordial wonder. Fox and Franz Josef Glaciers. Like rivers of ice defying gravity, these ancient glaciers flow from the heights of the southern Alps directly into lush rainforest, creating a juxtaposition found nowhere else on Earth. At just 300 meters above sea level, these massive ice formations move with such speed that you can sometimes hear them creaking and groaning as they carve their path through the landscape. Their unique environment creates impossible scenes where subtropical and alpine plants grow side by side. Simultaneously, the nearby Lake Matheson offers mirror-perfect reflections of New Zealand's highest peaks, Aoraki, Mount Cook, and Mount Tasman. Scientists study these glaciers intensively as they tell the story of our changing climate with each passing season. Wai-O-Tapu Thermal Wonderland. Step into a painter's palette come to life, where Earth's geothermal canvas displays colors that seem to belong in an artist's dreams rather than nature. The aptly named Artist's Palette Crater Pool shimmers with an impossible range of hues, while the Devil's Bath glows an otherworldly fluorescent green, its color derived from suspended sulfur particles dancing in mineral-rich waters. Each day, the Lady Knox Geyser performs its punctual spectacle, shooting steaming water up to 20 meters into the sky. As you traverse the park's carefully planned walkways, you'll encounter nature's most vibrant chemistry experiment, antimony creating brilliant orange, sulfur painting in yellow, and ferrous salts washing everything in green. The park's centerpiece, the largest mud volcano in New Zealand, bubbles and churns like a primordial soup. Mount Cook National Park, Aoraki. In the domain of New Zealand's greatest mountain, where 19 peaks soar above 3,000 meters, the air itself feels different. Part of the Te Waipunamu World Heritage Area, this alpine paradise is crowned by Aoraki Mount Cook, standing sentinel over the massive Tasman Glacier, New Zealand's longest river of ice. Adventurous souls who make the journey to Mueller Hut are rewarded with some of Earth's most spectacular mountain vistas, accompanied by the distant thunder of avalanches echoing through the valleys. As night falls, the park reveals another treasure. It sits within the Aoraki Mackenzie International Dark Sky Reserve, where the Milky Way stretches across the sky with clarity seen in few other places on Earth. Bay of Islands. Through the clear Pacific waters, beneath the shadow of 144 islands, lies a subtropical paradise that tells the story of a nation's birth. This maritime wonderland, where dolphins leap and whales breach, was once known as the hellhole of the Pacific, when the historic town of Russell served as New Zealand's first European settlement and colonial capital. Today, boats weave between islands crowned with native forest, making their way to the famous Hole in the Rock on Pirki Island, a natural arch large enough for vessels to pass through when the ocean permits. But beyond its natural splendor, these waters hold profound historical significance. It was here, at Waitangi, that New Zealand's founding document was signed in 1840, marking the beginning of a new nation and a unique partnership between European settlers and the Maori people. New Zealand's must-see cities. Auckland, stretching between two harbors and built upon 48 dormant volcanic cones, the city of sails pulses with a unique energy. Here, adrenaline junkies bungee jump from the Sky Tower. Meanwhile, luxury yachts drift beneath the harbor bridge. In vibrant neighborhoods like Ponsonby and Parnell, Pacific Rim fusion restaurants sit alongside contemporary art galleries. The city's volcanic past creates unexpected urban oases. Climb Mount Eden at sunset for panoramic views, or picnic in the explosion crater, turned urban park at Mount St. John. Markets in Rotorua showcase Polynesian culture, while Waiheke Island's wineries beckon just a ferry ride away. Auckland isn't just a city. It's a playground where urban sophistication meets Pacific charm. Wellington. Windswept and wonderful, New Zealand's capital city hugs a spectacular harbor. Its colorful houses clinging to steep hillsides like a South Pacific San Francisco. This is where the nation's creative heart beats strongest, in the innovative restaurants of Cuba Street, the hidden speakeasies of Courtenay Place, and the immersive exhibits of Te Papa Museum. Coffee culture here rivals anywhere in the world, with more cafes per capita than New York City. Film buffs can tour Wai-O Workshop, where Lord of the Rings magic came to life, while nature lovers can spot seals along the rugged coast. Take the historic Wellington cable car for views that explain why Lonely Planet once called it the coolest little capital. Christchurch. Rising from adversity with creativity and determination, Christchurch has reimagined itself as a city of innovation. Street art brings vibrant life to new buildings. At the same time, the transitional cardboard cathedral stands as a symbol of resilience. Punting on the Avon River offers glimpses of both historic architecture and modern design. Simultaneously, the stunning botanic gardens provide an oasis of tranquility. The quirky Container Mall showcases how necessity breeds invention, and the bustling Riverside Market represents the city's culinary renaissance. Don't miss the International Antarctic Center. Christchurch isn't called the gateway to Antarctica for nothing. Dunedin. Edinburgh's Antipodean sister city embraces its Scottish heritage while forging its own unique identity. Home to New Zealand's oldest university, this student city buzzes with youthful energy, especially along George Street's cafes and bars. The world's steepest street, Baldwin Street, challenges visitors to make it to the top, while Larnach Castle's Gothic towers transport you to another era. Wildlife enthusiasts can spot yellow-eyed penguins and royal albatross on the Otago Peninsula. Meanwhile, architecture buffs marvel at the Victorian and Edwardian buildings in the historic precinct. The city's street art rivals Melbourne's, with massive murals transforming industrial walls into outdoor galleries. Queenstown. Adrenaline junkies call this lakeside paradise their spiritual home, where every season brings new adventures. In winter, ski slopes beckon, whereas summer sees mountain bikers and hikers exploring endless trails. But Queenstown isn't just about extreme sports. Sophisticated wineries in nearby Gibbston Valley offer world-class Pinot Noir, while historic Arrowtown tells tales of gold rush glory. Take the gondola up Bob's Peak for panoramic views of Lake Wai-O-Tapu and the Remarkables mountain range, or cruise on a historic steamship to high country stations. Whether you're bungee jumping, wine tasting, or simply soaking in mountain views, Queenstown's energy is infectious. Rotorua. Steam rises mysteriously from sidewalk vents in this city, built on geothermal wonderland. Maori culture thrives here, with authentic hangi feasts and powerful cultural performances at Te Pua. The city's unique landscape creates surreal experiences. Imagine playing golf while steam vents puff nearby, or relaxing in naturally heated mud baths. The Redwoods Tree Walk offers a bird's eye view of ancient forest. Concurrently, the nearby Blue Lake serves up perfect swimming spots. Even the city's government gardens feel exotic, with tropical plants thriving in geothermally heated soil. The smell of sulfur might take getting used to, but locals proudly call it the smell of money. Napier. Devastated by an earthquake in 1931, Napier rose from the ashes to become the Art Deco capital of the Southern Hemisphere. Walking these streets feels like stepping onto a 1930s movie set, complete with vintage cars and architecture tours led by guides in period costume. But Napier isn't frozen in time. It's the heart of Hawke's Bay wine country, where world-class wineries dot the landscape. The Marine Parade offers endless ocean views, while the nearby Cape Kidnappers hosts the world's largest mainland gannet colony. Food lovers flock to the farmers market, where local produce shows why this region is called New Zealand's Food Bowl. Nelson. Blessed with New Zealand's highest sunshine hours, Nelson radiates creative energy. Artists' studios and galleries line the streets. Simultaneously, the weekend market bustles with craftspeople and food producers. The city serves as a gateway to 3 national parks, including Abel, Tasman's golden beaches. The cathedral steps offer views over Tasman Bay. At the same time, the center of New Zealand Monument provides the perfect sunset spot. Local breweries craft some of the country's best beers, and the port's restaurants serve up fresh seafood caught that morning. Whether you're browsing art galleries or kayaking in the bay, Nelson's laid-back vibe is irresistible. Tauranga, New Zealand's fastest-growing city, spreads along the Bay of Plenty's perfect harbor. Mount Maunganui, the mount, dominates the landscape. Climb it at dawn to join locals in their daily ritual, or surf the waves at its base. The city's cafe culture rivals Wellington's. Concurrently, the Saturday Farmers Market showcases the region's abundance. Cruise to swim with dolphins, fish in deep waters, or simply soak in the mount's hot pools while watching surfers catch waves. The city's history comes alive in the Elms Mission Station. Simultaneously, modern street art adds splashes of color to the CBD. Hamilton. Don't let first impressions fool you. This riverside city holds surprising treasures. The Hamilton Gardens are world-renowned, each garden telling a different story of civilization's relationship with plants. The Waikato River draws visitors to its shores, especially along the scenic river path. Notwithstanding, the Hamilton Lake provides an urban oasis. The city's flourishing food scene surprises visitors, from hip cafes to fine dining restaurants. By night, Victoria Street comes alive with bars and restaurants, during which the Hamilton Zoo offers close encounters with native and exotic wildlife. It's the perfect base for exploring the Waitomo caves and Hobbiton movie set. Invercargill. Sitting at the bottom of the South Island, where Antarctic winds first kissed New Zealand's shores, Invercargill defies expectations with its surprising blend of speed, sophistication, and Scottish heritage. Home to Burt Munro, of world's fastest Indian fame, this southernmost city celebrates its motorcycle heritage at classic motorcycle mecca. The wide boulevards, the widest main streets in New Zealand, speak to Victorian-era optimism, while Queen's Park's 80 hectares of gorgeously manicured gardens showcase sub-Antarctic plants found nowhere else. Food lovers flock to Invercargill for the world's southernmost pasture-raised cattle and the legendary bluff oysters. Don't miss Bill Richardson Transport World, the largest private automotive museum of its type in the world, or the Tuatara Sanctuary, where you can meet living dinosaurs. New Plymouth. Nestled between the perfectly conical Mount Taranaki and the wild Tasman Sea, New Plymouth brilliantly balances art, nature, and adventure. The iconic Lemlai Centre's mirror-like facade reflects the city's commitment to contemporary art, while the coastal walkway's wind wand dances against ocean horizons. Surf perfect breaks in the morning, hike through ancient goblin forests by afternoon, and dine at award-winning restaurants by night. The city comes alive during the annual WOMAD festival, but its true gem is Pukakura Park, where paths wend through native bush and over ornate bridges. During the Festival of Lights, this Victorian-era park transforms into a wonderland of illuminated art installations.
Must know before you go. New Zealand cultural tip. Before visiting New Zealand, understanding the concept of mana and its importance in Maori culture is crucial for respectful interaction. Mana, roughly translated as prestige, power, and honor, is a fundamental aspect of Maori society that influences social interactions and cultural protocols. When visiting Maori meeting grounds, or interacting with Maori communities, visitors should be aware of certain protocols. The hangi, a traditional greeting where people press their noses together to share the breath of life, is a sacred gesture that should only be initiated when invited. It's essential to remove shoes before entering a Maori and never eat or drink inside the meeting house, wear a nui. Photography should be approached with sensitivity, especially around sacred sites or during cultural ceremonies. Always ask permission before taking photos of Maori people or cultural performances. Additionally, New Zealand's commitment to environmental conservation is deeply rooted in the Maori concept of Katanga, guardianship of the environment. Visitors are expected to respect this by following the Leave No Trace principles and supporting sustainable tourism practices. Aotearoa, aka New Zealand Travel Wonders. Now that we've explored the wonders of New Zealand, I want to hear from you. Where would you go first? Will it be chasing the southern lights in Lake Tekapo, participating in a traditional hangi feast, or maybe bungee jumping off the Kawaro Bridge, because yes, New Zealand invented that too? Let me know in the comments and share your dream Kiwi adventure. If you enjoyed this journey through Aotearoa, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on future explorations. Until next time, embrace the wonder around you wherever you may be, and I'll see you in the next video. Haere.